Hi, this is another PySimpleGUI tips video. I make these basically for myself, but if you found your way here, welcome. And I hope you find something useful. So, looking at PySimpleGUI, they don't have a searchable combo box as a built-in item. So, this video is how I simulate a searchable combo box using a pop-up. The regular combo box is fine if you only have a small list of items, but if you have a large list of item choices that you want to put in, scrolling through a large list is not the way to do it. So a searchable combo boxes lets you start typing letters and it filters the list by the letters. So that's what we're doing here. I decided to do this as clicking on a input box. It would pop up a modal pop-up style window, and of course the inputs don't have a clicking event associated with them. So I had used the TK bind command to uh, make them so that the left mouse button click would get you what you would create an event. The pop-up my pop-up, the only way you can get out of it is you either select from the list or you hit the cancel button. And that way it either is going to update it's going to return a value and update the main window input box that you clicked on, or it's going to just close the window and not update the box at all. Um, I also made it so we can the pop-up window would be positioned based on where you click the mouse to on which button. That way, if you have a form with multiple ones, it's going to your pop-up window is going to be right underneath whatever the input box that you clicked on. I'll show you how I did that in a minute. Um, I decided to have the pop-up window not have a title bar. Um, and it's also modal, so you can't do anything on your main form, anything else on your main form until you uh, select or close the pop-up window. And I may have a white background just so it looked like that you were actually selecting from a list and not just another window for your form or something. Um, in the pop-up list, the values in the list will be sorted as well as filtered, and it's based on what to start with. So whatever you type, like if you're looking for a person and you put B and pick up all the Bobs and the Bills and whatever else starts with B, and if you put and then if you select the second letter BO, then it's going to filter only for names that start with BO. So that's just and as you keep on typing letters, your filtered list is going to get smaller and smaller until you get something that you can just select. And like I said, I got five in the list, and once you get down to five or so, you can just select it. I have the scroll bar still in there, so if you don't want to keep typing or you don't know how to spell something, then you might be able to search for it. So that's how that works. So we can go ahead and get to the program. Like I said, I designed this so that it would just have a function that would be called for that pop-up window. And we do it based on, and then, like I said, we can use this because we're uh, getting the list and location is what we're bringing into the things, into the function so that each each one we click on, it'll have its own list associated with it, and the mouse location will show. That way, we can know where we're going to display the pop-up at. Like I said, the mouse location is something PySimple GUI can give you, and that's a XY coordinates based on the whole screen. So um, that's where and then you can set your layout at a location, and that's the top left corner of your uh, pop-up window. So that's what we're doing. And where we click at, we want to move it down a few. So that's the Y direction. So we're adding 12 to our Y direction so that we're don't cover up what we're um, where we clicked at. So that's the way that works. So we're just basically creating a pop-up window has a um, uh, input box and a list box. And then at the bottom, you have a cancel button. Has an add new choice button, but we're not implementing that. It's just something for the future, maybe. Um, and like I said, we're setting the location, no title bar. We're making it modal. We're making the background color is white, and we're finalizing equals true. And then after we create the window, then we're going to set the focus to the input box so that we can start typing right away into that. Now, like I said, this is a pop-up, but it's got its own while true running, and it's looking for events. So it's going to wing close because we don't have a title bar. That's not going to come in, but the cancel button will just break out of it, and it'll just close the window without returning any items. Um, and then we got the uh, events. So event, anytime you type a letter, well, your input boxes, this is our input box. And anytime there's a change in the input box, which means you typed a letter or backspaced a letter or change whatever the value is of the input box, it's going to fire this event. So that's where we're going to get this uh, the value of whatever's in the input box. And then we're going to use that in this list comprehension to filter our list based on what's in the input box at the current time. And as we add letters or backspace or whatever, it's going to keep firing this. So if we put the B, it's going to sort out to everything that starts with B. If you put BO, it's going to filter all of them to start with BO. And eventually, you're going to get to a list that you're going to, and then it's going to update that based on the filtered values, the list on the filtered value again. Eventually, you're going to get to a list that you can select one, and once you select it, then that's this event here. It means you were clicked on it, and it's going to close the window, and it's going to return the values. The values are the selected items in a list. So it's the list box return values is a list. So we only want even though we only are getting one return, we need to still say that it's the value of list 0. So like I said, since we're each time we're bringing in a different list, then we can use this whether we have one searchable uh, combo box or many on our thing. Now we get down to the main program, and we're going to we have a payee list that I just created and an account list that I just created. These can be, like I said, this works fine for whatever size list you have, but the beauty of it comes when you have really large lists, hundreds of items. You can still, sort through them real quick and filter them out to what you need. So our main layout is just a payee box and an account box that we're filling in, and then just an exit button that we're doing here. Like I said, we're just doing the setting up our window, and then we're finalizing again. You have to do that before you do these bindings. And this is where we're binding the left click button so that we get events when the left click button of the payee or left click button happens when it's over the account uh, uh, input boxes. So that happens there. So now we go to our while true. Again, we're looking for wing closed and exit, and we're going to break out and just close the program when we do that. The only two events that we're actually looking for are these clicked, because we're not actually entering anything into our um, uh, input boxes. We actually made them read only so that we can't accidentally tab to them. You can either click on a box or you can tab to uh, each one and get a focus. And we made them read only so that we can't actually change them uh, as without clicking on them. But all we're doing, like I say, we're calling that function with, like I said, I had a title that we're not using, the list, and then this is the function that grabs the mouse location. So when we get an event, a click event, that means that we just clicked on that, and it's going to automatically show us where, it's this next thing it's going to do is say, oh, we need to grab the mouse location and pass it into our function. And then, like I said, the function's either going to return nothing if the cancel happens, nothing comes out of that, or you're going to get a payee name that we selected, and we're just going to update that, either the payee or the account, with the new value that we just selected. And that's the way it works. So I guess the thing is, show it working. And we can click on pay. And if you notice, this happened just, it brought up the pop-up just 12 pixels below where we click. So that's why it's worked out well there. And we can, like I said, I haven't done anything yet, and we can start typing. We can put an S, and it just took all the other ones out. If we backspace, then it's going to bring them back. But if we say S, oh, A, I put A in, there's nothing with A at all. So the only point thing we could do there is cancel. So we can say S. And then we have two with SA, Sam and Sally. So it just would do that. And at some point, anytime you want to, you can click on the item on the list, and that'll close the pop-up and put your value that you selected into that. And like I said, we can do the same thing with the account. We can type P for pay, roll, or phone. We can put PH, and then we say, oh, we didn't really want that. We want PA, and it's going to sort it, and we can just pick payroll out of that. And if you want to update the box, you can always just click on it and the same thing and say, oh, I really didn't mean to update that. Even though, well, we can start typing. So we can say, oh, utilities. Oh, I really didn't want utilities. I want it to be payroll after all. So you click cancel, and it just it just lets that remain the same. So that's how it works, and you could have 1 to 100 of these, and just the only thing we actually have to uh, do for each one of those is we got to create a button event. We got to have our normal inputs, but then we create a click event for each one, and then it's just 2 lines of code for each event that we have so that we update it. And like I said, the one function will work for whichever ones we have. Anyhow, that's my video. I hope it found it useful. Have a great day.